Hey all. So first war of the season where we're actually pushing in, I guess, 3 months now. So the goal is Masters. But funnily enough, this is going to be a short and sweet one because what made the most sense for us this war was for me to take, I think my only fights are using rank 4 Hyperion. So we start with this Eye Hulk. Gonna go ahead and re-parry for one heavy, not really that important. I am focused pretty exclusively on the special one spam, and when using hype for conduit specifically, when you really need the heal block, you have to be careful not to throw too many heavies, or something like this will happen. Um, I think I just wait for the special three here. Yeah, but basically, you can throw heavies and try and roll for Furies every once in a while, but don't do it too often because your most important thing is spamming the special ones for the Incinerates to keep the heal block up. If it drops for a minute, it's not really the end of the world. I probably could have kept him from getting enough gamma if we had spammed the special one and been really, really conservative. But at the same time, if the AI decides to be uncooperative, you're probably going to spend some time with the heal block down one way or another, so it's not something that I want to stress about. But I don't use the special 2 here because it's Masochism. Once I got pushed past the special 1, I went straight to the special 3. Similarly, there wasn't a whole lot of use, in my opinion, in getting the heal block up there because I was pretty confident that this special 3 would kill him, so I just waited out Immortality, made sure I had it ready, and finished the fight cleanly without having to find another opening. So yeah, pretty textbook fight for hype there. You just needed to weave in some reparries. Sick and Tired allows him to ignore pretty much everything else. Really fun. So now we are on path 2 in section 2, the strike counter block pen fights. And so Hard Knock Life, kind of similar to the last one, means that we can only parry every so often. But like I said, when you're playing Conduit with hype, that's kind of what you focus on anyway. Plus, with her glancing, we're not likely to get any Furies through either way, so I'm not really fussed about it. You could definitely play this dancing to a special 3, throwing that, and then spamming the special 1, since the cosmic charges are essentially permanent Furies. I thought about doing that. The dancing to get to a special 3 without burning out strike counter is just a very small risk, though. I kind of decided I didn't want to take it today. You definitely could. I don't really think that it's right one way or another. It's just a small trade off per benefit. As you can see, we're absolutely melting this. It's not a big deal one way or the other. Because remember that Storm X's glancing, as annoying as it is exclusively for basics. And so all of these special attacks still have their normal chance to apply Incinerates, which is why we're keeping the heal block up nice and easy. And then to address the obvious, we don't really have to worry about strike counter because Hyperion always has a special ready to throw. So very, very clean counter here, even through her energy resistance, even without being able to cleanly land the Furies, he just shuts it down. And then we move on to the second fight here, Green Goblin. This should be even simpler because there's no glancing, there is no Hard Knock Life. If we dash back twice, we get the Disorient, but it's much more easily avoidable. And, funnily enough, the thing that normally makes Green Goblin so incredibly annoying, that Cunning Charge that slows down all sources of power gain on the opponent, is actually going to help us here, because slowing down our power gain is going to mean that we can more easily throw specials while also weaving in some heavies. Kind of a funny thing that if you slow down Hyperion, he becomes more predictable and easier to play. But yeah, this fight is just going very cleanly. We're trying to make sure that we dash back to avoid hits where we can, but we're not spamming it because we really don't want that Incinerate on us. And priority is always on keeping the heal block up. You can see Green Goblin does not have energy resistance, and even at no Furies, but especially with 1 or 2 up, we're just doing way, way more damage than we were to Storm. Class advantage is, of course, helping us out as well. That's effectively a free Fury. Really simple fight there. And now for the main reason that we insisted on having my rank 4 Hyperion on the board, we have a rank 4 Galan on the Hazard Shift Miniboss node. Now there are a number of different things you could theoretically do for this. Red Hulk probably gets through it. Kingpin was of course banned, as he probably will be much of this season to make the Hazard Shift nodes harder. Anti-Venom is fully immune and is sick and tired, and so could shut down Conduit. But of course, the primary reason that Galan is placed here is because all 3 of his best counters, Tigra, Rintra, and Wiccan, are going to be slower here than elsewhere thanks to Conduit, and are probably not going to be able to rush through Hazard Shift since they're not immune to either of the debuffs. It's a good placement. But Galan is kept under control, is kept out of the Harvest, which is that unavoidable damage that would likely be a problem for Anti-Venom and for Red Hulk, by throwing specials. If you knock him down with a special, it removes 30 mass per level of the special attack, and so spamming special ones like this with Hyperion easily keeps him at 0. Now, we were talking earlier about how Hyperion's power gain can work against him if you have to dance a little bit, and that is coming into play here, because between block damage and me not having the special evades fully down, basically we're taking a little more on block than I would have liked, especially right now. I definitely should have heavy countered that heavy right there as well. This is just me not being fully on top of every little permutation of this match. I need to make sure I'm better for that next time. But, and right there I definitely shouldn't have taken that Incinerate if I had been properly prepared. But this is still just a really good matchup, playing around the Incinerate and occasionally throwing a special one into it. I really do think that was the right call to make sure that we kept the Conduit heal block up. But it's incredibly annoying to have a 6-hit special 1 proc 5 Incinerates. So this is going a little bit sketchy now. And it definitely hurt that we lost to Mr. Fantastic's pre-fight buffs, right? I think, in retrospect, if I were to do this again, which I probably will at some point, I think throwing the special into the Incinerate phase that lets us keep those pre-fight debuffs up, including critically the debuff siphoner, is the way to go in the future, because that would reduce the potency of all the Incinerates by 25% and keep ours hitting harder, doing 25% more, and keeping us topped up while also accelerating the fight is incredibly helpful, and I think risking a few lower level Incinerates. Because by allowing them to fall off, I exposed myself to later in the fight needing to throw a special one for spacing or for harvest or for other reasons, and having what happened where 5 Incinerates got through no longer with that reduction. Plus, he could back me up more because we lost the suppression and he was getting access to more specials. So that is definitely what I would fix for next time. Sadly, there is no equivalent of the Odin pre-fight for Incinerate, or this node would not be that scary. I do think Anti-Venom would be solid for that, because you would have the increased power rate as you're blocking specials that would allow you to probably spam Special 1 and knock him down more often. I think you would actually have to avoid the Special 2, because then you would lose your increased power rate and probably get hit by the Harvest. But spamming Special 1s with Anti-Venom is a very long fight. That's kind of his primary weakness, right? A lot of opportunities for things to go wrong. And so that's why we went with Hyperion. But I'm glad that this first time in particular, while I'm still learning things, we made sure that it was mine with the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights and with that benefit of the extra rank. Interesting fight there. Curious to hear who other people are using, but I do think that that was worth it. Obviously, it was a solo. I did not take Mangog on 54 this time with Reed like I have a dozen other times, but trusted that to another member of the battle group. I'm sure you'll see their war videos soon. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this one. Looking forward to getting all 12 of these out in a more competitive season this time. And until the next one, thanks so much for watching, and take care.